Hi there, this is Ben from Approval Donkey here again. This video tutorial is about adding and maintaining new panels. So without any further ado, we'll start getting cracking into it. So to add a new panel, we obviously click on the Add New Panel button and it takes us to a form. You can add a panel for whatever purpose you like and call it whatever you like. So the panel we're going to add today is a required response panel, and we'll show you the details of what we mean here later on, but we can call it whatever we like. Required response, that the allow approvals from other systems checkbox here. This is if we want to keep it a closed panel or an open panel. If we're using an integration with the likes of Xero or QuickBooks, click yes. But if you want to keep it a closed panel and that only panel members can send requests to it, then click no. For this one, I'm going to click yes. And we can set ourselves default reminders. So we can have it any setting we kind of like, within days and hours. What happens when it's activated, we can activate or deactivate it. When it's activated, what happens is after a request is sent, if someone hasn't responded to that request within 2 days for this setting, then the request is resent to that particular person. Only the people that have not responded get the request reminder. We can also set a deadline. So when the request status has not been changed, or no one has not responded to the request, i.e. it's still pending, if it's still pending after 4 days, it'll actually shift over to overdue, so you can easily identify overdue approval requests. We can choose whether we want ourselves as the panel owner or the person you're logged in as an approver or a reviewer. If I choose myself to be a reviewer, I'm copied into the approval requests, but I do not have approval privileges, so I don't have to approve or decline any requests. The people that I add as an approver will do that for me, but in this case I want to be added as an approver. I also want to add a member. As an approver, I can choose to not add a member and just have myself there, but in this case I'm going to choose to add a member. So member 1, these are just made up names. So member 1 at approval.com, and I can enter a role. So I am a tester in this case, and I can choose the role of a member as well. In the case of myself as a reviewer, then the member cannot be a reviewer as also. They need to be an approver. So there needs to be at least one approver in the workflow. So we're going to save and add another member. Okay, and you can see that the panel has largely been set up, and what we can do here is we can keep on adding further members. So I'm going to add another member to the particular panel. So member 2 and member 2 at approval.com, and these guys are test 2, and I can add them as a reviewer in this case. I'm going to save and add another, and as you can see, that member has been added as a reviewer. Whenever you add a member, they will always get a personalised invitation inviting them to that particular panel, and they can accept the invitation, which will change the status from pending to active. Down here I can start to add steps. We can go through that later on, but basically I can start adding a step approval here and save that step to create steps in there. But in this case I'm just going to cancel, and if I wanted to add further members at a later time, I can just click on the add member and it takes me back to the form. To remove members, I just obviously tap on that and then use the X to confirm. In this case I'm just going to keep this member here and we'll cancel that. All your panels will appear in your panel list like here, so you can see the panel that we've added here. If I click on the arrow button, I can bring up my member list again. By clicking on the eye icon, I bring up the panel settings. So this is where we can really customize the particular workflow to your requirements. So you will see in here that we have a set required responses from the drop down. I can choose to have one response for the panel, I can only choose one response because I only have 2 approvers if I was to add another member, like so. So if we add a third member, number 3, add approval.com. Okay, save and close. Okay, so there's now 3 approvers in that panel. Now when I go and set my required responses, I have the choice of 1 response or 2 responses or all the responses. So again, there's 3 approvers in that panel. In this case, I'm just going to choose 1 response. So this is really handy when you have a group of people that have equal approval rights and you only need a response from one of them. Auto requests, I can choose to have this set as yes or no. What that means is when I'm sending it from my email address, so in this case ben@approvaldonkey.com, any requests that come from me, I can have them auto approve from me. But I'm going to have them set at no. Again, allow approvals from other systems, that's the setting we had before, and the default reminder and deadline days. This archive of this panel means that at a later time, if I wanted to remove this panel from my dashboard and all the associated requests, I can click that yes and save, and it'll remove it and put it into the archive folder. I can get it back at any time just by unclicking that. So I'm just going to save those settings. Okay, and that's my required response panel set up. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how the required response process works. So I'm going to send a request to this panel email address, a couple email address, and then I go to my email system and I send an email to that. So it's just a test request. I'm sending it to the panel email address. Please approve this. So it's just a test. Send. So that's been sent, and that will come up in my pending folder. So we go to my pending, and there's a request right there. Test request. There's a subject. We can open it up and please approve this, and then we've got all the members and the tracking and the history of who created it. So if I approve that, it goes straight away from my pending folder because it has been approved. Okay, check. Okay, so this is my approved request. We open it up and we can see in the tracking that only one person was required to approve this particular request. Because the required response level was set at 1. If it was set at 2, then we'd need 2 members to be able to have to complete this request, and obviously all members within the group would have to approve it before we can change that status to approved. And it's an easy case of just changing any further requests, so we can change that to 2 responses, and that will mean that 2 members have to approve that particular request. And again, for all members within that group have to change it. And that's the video tutorial for setting up and how required response works for Approval Donkey. Hope that helps. Have a good day.